by step. Left, right, moving forward on the glory.
Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 4 teasers. Last week we won. We didn't even sweat. Let's get this money. Check out my Patreon. Every bet I post is there. Let's get to the first game. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers -7 at the New England Patriots. I'm going to bring that Tampa Bay -7. I'm going to bring that down to a 0, and I'm going to ride with Brady. At the very worst, Brady's going to get this victory. Now, I know there's problems with Tampa Bay, and I warned you guys last week, sometimes Tampa Bay loses interest. They take the foot off the acceleration during the regular season, but this game is going to be different. This is personal between the hoodie and Brady. I'm sick of people saying it's not. I'm not trying to be melodramatic. And you look at this Patriots team, yeah, they got an above average D, but this offense is an absolute wreck. No receivers. Offensive line isn't all that great at run blocking. They can't run it all that well. And Mac Jones is just left out there to dry. And we're supposed to believe he's good because of the Bill Belichick pixie dust. I'm sick of the Patriots pixie dust. Cinderella's not coming out anymore. Brady's coming in. Brady's going for that throw. It's going to get messy. It's going to get ugly. You are more than comfortable with Tampa -0. Let's get to the next game. We got the Jacksonville Jags at the Cincinnati Bengals. Right now, it's Jags +7.5. I'm going to bump that up to Jags +14.5. I will be doing 2 teasers, one with this game on and one leaving it out. Thursday night games are crazy. There's just a high degree of variability that can happen in these games. We know that, and that's why betting isn't easy, but we make money because we understand these issues. When I'm looking at this game, I think Trevor Lawrence plays well. I don't think Lawrence is going to put up 330 or anything like this, but I think he will get presented more opportunities against a defense like the Bengals. And I did see some signs from Lawrence this year. Jags got to stop with the special teams touchdowns. They got to stop doing that. I think they cut it out, and I think that allows them to keep this game close. Now, Cincinnati, they have great players on offense, and it looks stacked, but offensive line still has some issues. Cincinnati should be able to run it against the Jags, but we'll see if they're able to stay committed and if Joe Mixon can have a big game. Either way, Burrow and Lawrence both play good in my opinion, and that makes me love the Jags +14.5. I think the Jags keep it within 7 at least. Next game, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Philadelphia Eagles. Big Red back in Philly. KC's -7, and you guys know what I'm going to do here. I'm bringing that KC -7 down to a pick'em, and it's the same fundamentals with the Buccaneers game. And I think people forget how much Big Red dislikes the Philadelphia Eagles organization. Not the Philadelphia Eagles fans, but the organization. And I think that shows on the scoreboard. And when you're talking about the Eagles, you're talking about a team. I don't like how they're coached. I really didn't like their offensive game plan Monday night against the Cowboys. They didn't run it enough. They didn't look physical enough, and they didn't look creative enough. If you have those types of problems on offense, the last team you want pulling into your city is Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. They're going to put up points. They're going to go over 30. I don't know if the Eagles can even get over 20 in this game. I think the Chiefs come out focused. I think they come out and go for the neck. I think this is a different types of Chiefs team. I feel confident with them with the -7, and I feel like I'm walking on water with the pick 'em at 0. So I got KC at 0 for this. Next game, we got the Washington No-Names at the Atlanta Falcons. Atlanta is +1. We're going to take the 7, and we're going to add that to Atlanta. And this comes down to Taylor Heinicke. Taylor Heinicke isn't good enough to be a starter in this league. I didn't like hearing the stuff all off season. And for me personally, it was disrespectful to Ryan Fitzpatrick. You're seeing how much Ryan Fitzpatrick is worth. Ryan Fitzpatrick's not a great quarterback, but he's a pretty good quarterback in this league. And you are showing the drop off behind a journeyman number 2 starter and a legit number 1 in this league. And it looks like Washington has lost a bit of energy, a bit of mojo, a bit of gusto. Something something that I think they need to go on the road to beat Atlanta. I don't even think they beat Atlanta. I think Atlanta wins this game. And, with Atlanta, you always get the self destruction. Yeah, and they always do self-destructive behavior, and you always have to understand that when you are ready to bet Atlanta. But you add on this 8, they're at home at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. You got a Redskins team, a Washington team that is turning it over like crazy. Let's roll with Atlanta +8. Next game, we got the New York Giants at the New Orleans Saints. We got the Giants +8, and I'm going Giants +15. Make sure you hit the like button, share the videos, check out my Patreon link in the description. Check all that stuff out. But I got the Giants +15, and this comes down to fundamentals. And I'll explain the fundamentals to you. I know some of you guys will not like this pick. You will not like this rationale, and you would think it's a bit ballsy. Listen, Giants have a good front seven. This team doesn't have a lot to write home about. There isn't a lot to get excited about. But one thing you can mark on the 11 on defense every week is a pretty strong front seven, and a front seven that is ready to compete, especially against the run. Well, that's what the Saints want to do. The Saints are a pound it football team. This ain't the Drew Brees of 2012 walking through the door. This is a pound football team. This is a team that wants to run the ball and then work to play action. I think the Giants stop the run, and I think that creates problems for the Saints. I think this creates a very tight, constricted game. It's an elevator type game. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a brawl. It's going to be black and blue. It's going to be low scoring. Whenever you get a low scoring game and you can roll with 15, I don't care if it's on the road. I know the Saints are going to get some motivation returning to New Orleans after all the stuff that happened. Yeah, that's great. And it will make a difference. And the Saints are going to come out strong. They're going to come out tough, but the Giants can meet them with resistance. Then you sprinkle in a little Saquon Barkley. Listen, this Giants offense, I'm not going to come on here and say they're going to give us anything. It's just a due to coaching. And I think Daniel Jones is psychologically beaten at this point, not making excuses for his talent on the field, but there's just out of ideas on offense. We're not going to get anything out of them except maybe a little bit of sprinkle of Saquon, but his brilliance when he is able to explode through a hole can change a game. I like the Giants +15. Next game, we got the Cleveland Browns at the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are +2. I'm going +9. And I know people probably wanted the Titans game on the teaser, maybe the Indy and Miami game, but I'll tell you what, Vikings are going to keep this game within one score, and that's why I absolutely love the +9. Now, you got a Browns team that runs the ball really well, and we know the Vikings can't stop it that well. But I do expect to see Harrison Smith in the box. Anthony Barr could return. We'll see if he's back. He could really help that front seven. But I think the Vikings have to load up, and I think they have to accept that, we're going to get hurt on deep balls. We got Patrick Peterson and Breeland. They can't run, so we're going to get beat on deep balls. But the Vikings have to stop this run first, and that's what I think they do. And if they do that, they're going to cover this easy. Now, with the Vikings offense, you get explosion, and they have been looking pretty good. Even with Cook out last week, they ran it really well with Madison. You had Jefferson, you had Thielen, you had a good running game, and an offensive line that's performing better. I think they'll be able to move the ball against the Browns. Now, is Kirk Cousins going to win this game or pull anything spectacular? No, but that's why we have the +9, because we know he'll make a mistake. We know the Vikings defense will leak points, but this +9 has me feeling comfy. Hot Cocoa Sunday. Next game and last game of the teaser, we got the Baltimore Ravens at the Denver Broncos. Right now, it's Ravens +1. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bounce that up to Ravens +8. I think the Ravens win this game. I think the Ravens defense wins this game. We can talk about Lamar versus this good Denver defense all day, but I think the matchup to talk about this game is this Broncos offense versus the Ravens defense. This is a different type of resistance Teddy and company will face. This isn't the Jets. This isn't the Jags. This isn't the Jags. This is the Ravens coming in a must-win situation. I like the +8. So here on my teaser, I got Tampa Bay, pick 'em. Kansas City, pick 'em. Atlanta with the 8. Giants plus 15, Browns plus 9, Ravens plus 8, and I will be doing a second one where I add in that Jags plus 14.5. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Video was up a little bit late, had some problems with recording. My bad about that. Hit the like button, share the videos. Let's get to this money.